Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nerders. My name is Nick.
I'm Rich.
And today we're having a discussion.
Yeah, we are.
I'm going to give you a stern talking to. Sony.
Oh, that's Sony.
Yeah, because Sony did something this week. What did they do?
So they had the PlayStation meeting, I think it was called, in New York.
It's like the AA meeting. Sony.
So it was on, what day is it? Today's Thursday. So it was yesterday. They were recording, so Wednesday. So a week before you guys are watching this. They had a meeting in New York, press conference, sort of, about what the future of PlayStation was going to be.
Yes.
So there's a lot of speculation going into this of whether they're going to announce, of the Slim, the Neo.
Some speculation about a Vita 2.
Yeah, would there be a Vita 2? Would there be a Red Dead?
Loco.
And Red Dead 3 finally shown. And we only got a couple of those.
Yeah.
So first they came out and basically announced the slim model of the PlayStation 4. This is now going to be the PlayStation 4 going forward.
Right.
So it's not called the PS4 Slim, it's just going to be the PlayStation 4, which there was some speculation about because those unboxings, like a bunch of them got out and people were already doing unboxings of this console. But it'll be out September 15th, so tomorrow, the day after you guys are watching this, it'll be out. It's just a slim version of the PlayStation 4. It's $299. I don't think it really does anything different that I saw.
Step into a Slim Jim. No, it doesn't. I mean, the one thing that they announced is eventually there's going to be the patch for HDR.
That'll be for those and for all PlayStation 4s that are already out. There'll be a patch to be able to support HDR. But then the big thing that everybody was kind of expecting and waiting for was the announcement.
3 minutes of Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh my God. I'll get to that in a second. Now, you didn't watch the conference at all, did you?
I watched the 3 minutes of Mass
Effect
Effect
just
Andromeda.
3 minutes of okay. Well, I watched the conference. It was rough, let me tell you. I can't remember ever watching a conference that was that boring. And I watched all hour and a half plus of Ubisoft's E3 conference this year. No, it was not good. There was no pop. There was nothing exciting. So they opened up and Andrew House came out, PS4 Slim, blah 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 blah, and then they announced what the PS4 Neo was, and it was called the PlayStation Pro. It's the higher end model of the PlayStation 4. It has 4K upscaling for games. So it's not going to be true 4K streaming or 4K gaming, but it will have support 4K streaming, so Netflix, YouTube, there will be new apps and stuff for that to do all the 4K things for that. HDR support.
No 4K Blu-ray support.
And there will be no 4K Blu-ray support.
So,
which is the weirdest thing because with the patch that's coming out for normal PlayStations, the only difference between the PS4 Pro and the PlayStation 4 standard is 4K upscaling and 4K streaming.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a 4K TV, there is...
Or you don't pay the extra for the Netflix plan.
Yeah, there's no real point to this console.
There is no point to this console.
Now, there's no point in general, but unless my PlayStation 4 breaks, there's no way in hell I would ever buy this.
I wouldn't buy it if my PS4 did break.
Well, and then later there's been details of what it does for normal HD TVs and 1080, and stuff like that. And it's like, well, why didn't you... They didn't talk about any of that. What we got was Mark Cerny coming out, the chief architect of PlayStation 4, and a incredibly intelligent person, a big person in the games industry, coming out with a very, very boring lesson of images, and these are the colors, and this is HDR, and this is 4K, and this... Let us show you what 4K and HDR look like on a live stream that you guys are watching on a non-HDR or 4K format.
Right, because, sure. But, that was meant for the people in the room.
Sure, but, they know this is streaming to everybody else.
Right.
Like, there was a point where they were going through and they're like, here's Days Gone, and now here's Days Gone in HDR, and I could not tell you the difference. I had no idea what was going on. Like, I had no idea that there was anything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything looked gorgeous, but all of the games they showed already looked great.
How much do you even care about visual fidelity?
Not really.
I don't.
I mean,
I really don't. I mean, sometimes it's nice, like, to have a clearer picture, but, like, think about one of the things that I'm most passionate about, even more so than video games, is movies.
Mm-hmm.
And how would I rather watch a movie? Film.
Yeah.
Over digital every day of the week. Like, I don't care that this system can't... I mean, the thing is, it can't even do that much different. Literally, it won't be able to do almost anything different than what ours will be able to do. And I don't have, and I won't have anytime soon, a TV that would take advantage of it.
Sure. What this is to me, other than unnecessary, this is the Xbox One S. This is their version of the Xbox One S. But instead of having, this is the new PS4, like Xbox did, but this is the new Xbox One S, and we have a incredibly powerful, the most powerful console made coming in the future. They went, we're going to keep the PlayStation 4, and then we're going to have this Pro version.
The dumbest fucking thing that they ever did was there has been months of people speculating clearly out of the ballpark expectations of what the Neo was. They should have shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Quick. We've been speculating on the Neo since before E3.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, is it this? Is it going to be this powerful? Is it going to enhance PSVR? Is it going to be able to do this? Is
they
it the
barely
future of
talked
gaming?
about VR.
Which is so dumb.
Well, then they came out...
You know you have eyeballs, and it comes out in a month.
November.
Okay,
so November
way, but
10th,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're 2 months away from essentially launching a new piece of hardware.
Oh, yeah, VR is October. That's
what
November.
I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm
PlayStation
saying.
Pro
was
November.
October. And you don't capitalize on having this
Talk about...
there?
Yeah, they totally missed the mark of convincing anybody hardcore who already has the stuff to buy it, in my opinion.
But the thing is, hearing what it is and what it is not, I don't even think that their goal was to convince anyone to buy it. I don't think their goal was to convince you or I or anyone else, besides the very, very few people who have a 4K television, HDR enabled, to buy this. I don't think that they want us to double dip. I don't think that's what they were saying. I think that what they want is they want to justify still charging $400 for a console and $300 and just getting all the people that will go, I'll pay $100 more, who don't already have one.
Sure.
Moving forward, it extends the life of being able to charge $400 for something that the $300 one can basically do.
Yeah, well, that's the it's like, okay, and then they come out and they say, you know, of course their first party games are going to are doing whatever they want to do to make sure they take advantage of this. But then they come out and they're like, well, we're asking our third party devs to take advantage. So they don't even have everybody on board for this yet to develop for two separate specs. So there's no point to this. There's no reason for this to exist.
No, there isn't. I don't think that it's going to hurt them.
No.
I've heard some speculation that this, why do this? Why muddy the water? Blah 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 blah. I really don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't know if it muddies because you're going to have the same thing of people who are like, oh, do I get the iPhone 6 or do I get the iPhone 6 Plus? Like, it's the same kind of, oh, do I get the PlayStation?
I think it's even less confusing, though, because, like, this is like, all right, both are going to be available, and do I want to spend $300 or do I want to spend $400? One way or another, I'm going to buy one of them, and then
if anything, it's going to get people to keep buying the $400, like general consumers.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of this thing.
Because they'll
charge $100 more,
and they'll go to GameStop or Best Buy, and they'll be like, oh, I don't know, what's the difference? And like, well, this one's got 4K, and they're like, oh, 4K. That's supposed to be really good. Okay, yeah, I'm not realizing they need a 4K TV to take it, any of that stuff. But we did get something in the middle of all this. Now, my take on this is very different than your take on this. So I'll be curious to hear what your take on this footage is.
I don't know if we have a different footage take at all.
Oh, maybe not. Because watching it for me during this already boring conference
It was the most boring footage they could have possibly shown.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like because I was watching this through like the kind of funny stream of it, and even they were like, "This makes even Mass Effect look boring."
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have no idea why PlayStation / BioWare / EA would want that to be essentially the first footage that we see.
Yeah,
for
that
this
was
game.
the weirdest.
It makes no sense. They did tweet. I think that they knew. They knew immediately because as soon as it aired, BioWare tweeted out that on N7 Day, November 7th, they're gonna fully blow open the doors, first full trailer, and a bunch of other things first revealed. Like they're waiting for their own thing to make a splash. They didn't want this to be the splash, and maybe they didn't really want this to be the splash because they knew it was gonna be fucking boring.
I feel like they could have done something a little more interesting than just jumping, scan.
No, trust me, I thought it was boring as hell.
Like
that doesn't mean the game's gonna be boring.
No,
the game's
not
gonna
at
be
all.
awesome, I guarantee
But it's
you.
just the weirdest to
I have no
premiere
idea.
your game.
It was very odd.
And I played you a little bit because you missed the conference. I played you a little bit. That conference was like. I mean, it was just like a lecture. And I have all the respect for Mark Cerny and how smart he is and everything that he does. But I mean, that was just.
Yeah.
That
I don't
was
know.
awful. And they got to step it up for their next couple conferences this year.
They will. I mean,
I hope so.
PSX is going to be great.
I hope. It was okay last year.
All right. Yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah, it's going to be great comparatively. How about that?
Again,
Okay, we'll see. But
We'll
I
see.
don't know. I mean, it's just the only thing that I can understand. I can understand why the conference was that way because there's not much to say about this, right? But what I don't understand above anything else is what I already said. I don't understand why they didn't just jump in immediately and say, you know what? It's just another version, 4K enabled.
yeah.
Boom. Shut down the rumors.
This is the exact with the exception of like 4K Blu-rays. It's on the Xbox One S. This is their Xbox One S. And they said everything that this conference said in like a 30-second trailer.
Yep.
And you didn't need any of this stuff. If you were going to have this conference, this should have been to explain why it's better for VR and why people who already have a PS4 and don't necessarily have a 4K TV, why it's good for them. Look how good it still does for your HD TV. That does this, it does this, it does this.
The only thing that really screws over PlayStation here, potentially, they still have the better, in my opinion, it's the better ecosystem. It's the whole better, but the whole better package this generation. But there's still the other one. There's still the Slim,
Sure.
and the Xbox. It's just the S. I mean, the other one exists. But
Yeah, but the S also ranges from 3 different models. So you could get the $300 version, you could get the $400 version.
But that's just storage difference.
Sure.
That's storage difference, and so the cheaper model than the PlayStation Pro does what the Pro does, and it does even more.
Yeah.
First of all, it's cheaper, and it has the Blu-ray 4K enabled thing, if that's what you care about.
Exactly.
They were in a position where they were clear cut. There was nothing besides first-party Xbox games that Microsoft could point to and say, we do this better than them. And now they can say, hey, we do something better than them now. The graphical power is still not better.
Sure.
But that doesn't matter. Now they can literally say, we did what they didn't do, and we did it cheaper.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to screw you over by having 2 different versions.
Yeah. And then there's still whatever
Dumb.
happens with Scorpio next year. And if what they're saying ends up being true, then
Well, that's
be a whole different
an
ballgame.
entirely different conversation at
Yeah.
that point. Like, that truly feels like neither of these do like a new console. Whether they want to say it's a new console or not,
yeah.
it is. That sounds massively different.
Mm.
And maybe Sony will too. We don't know. Maybe next year they're going to announce,
The PlayStation 5 for 2018.
Yes. So we'll see. But anyway, that's what Sony did. What did you think of it? Are you... Tweeted me 2 things. Here's what I like to know. Do you already have a PS4 and are you going to get the Pro? Or did you not have one and are you going to get one now?
Yeah, let
That's
them know.
what I want to know. Did they convince you of anything?
You can let me know too, or you can let us know in the comments below. But if you do want to tweet at us, you can tweet at him at...
Stonks.
I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson, and the channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. Instagram is over_a_beer, and of course right here on YouTube at youtube.com/overabeer. We're also have the Overbeer podcast every Friday on SoundCloud.com/Overbeer and iTunes and other podcast services of your choosing, wherever it ends up. I don't know. Which is a much more off-topic, random conversation between us with some pop culture nerd stuff sprinkled in there as well. But that will wrap things up for today. So until next time, drink up.
And butter me up.